Heads up, this video is part 2 to a video I made several weeks ago where I started telling my story of going from unofficially homeschooled and being over 360 pounds to losing over 170 pounds and becoming a professional software engineer. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put a link to it down in the description, or I'll just leave a link to it at the end of this video in case you're the type of person that likes to watch things out of order. Hey, I'm the Improvement Geek, and if you're new to the channel and you want to learn how to improve your life with the power of science, start now by subscribing to make sure you catch all of my new uploads every Saturday morning. I ended the first video by talking about how my mom and I moved to Tennessee in April 2010. Here's a picture of me the month before then, when I weighed over 360 pounds and had just been told by my doctor that I was considered pre-diabetic. Right after we moved, I got a job as a construction worker, and the combination of working 60 hours outside in the southern summer heat and improving my diet a bit caused me to drop a lot of weight really quickly. I knew staying in construction wouldn't really work out with my goals of going to college, so a few months later I left that job and got a new job somewhere else. But I still struggle with the fear that I had about going to college because of my lack of social skills and my lack of knowledge, so I didn't actually apply to college until the fall of 2011. I got accepted to Chattanooga State Community College and I started classes there in January 2012. Because of all the years of being really poor when we were living at the flea market and the truck stops, I decided to choose business administration as my major because I felt like it would bring me the most money. One of my classes that first semester was remedial algebra. I'll never forget the moment I had one of those combined like terms problems on one of my first homework assignments, and I had no idea what it meant. See, when I started college, I had literally no idea what a mathematical function was. Towards the end of that first semester, I started realizing that, for various reasons, business wasn't really the right path for me to go down yet. So I decided to put my nerdiness to work for me, and I changed my major to computer engineering. Another moment I'll never forget is the engineering advisor literally laughing in my face when I told her I wanted to be an engineer despite how little math I knew. She said something along the lines of, well, I guess we'll just see how it works out. Yeah, I guess we did, didn't we? In summer 2013, I got to study abroad in Scotland for a few weeks, studying British literature while we stayed a few nights at several different cities across the country, reading famous works written by authors from those places, and learning about Scottish history. Aside from almost getting distracted from school by my first real relationship turning into an absolute mess that unfortunately I didn't have the confidence to end when I should have, the rest of my time at Chattanooga State went really well, and I graduated with my associate's degree in general studies in May 2014. I had planned from the start of college to go to a university and get my bachelor's degree, but I never wanted to go to the local university, which was University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Right before I graduated from Chat State, I found out about Georgia Tech here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I took a tour of the campus and instantly fell in love with the institute and the city. However, Georgia Tech required transfer applicants to have completed a few classes that I hadn't taken yet, so I actually did wind up transferring to UT Chattanooga first in fall 2014 so I could go ahead and knock those classes out. At this point, stress over figuring out my next college steps, my failed relationship, and finishing up my current degree had caused me to get really lazy and stress eat a lot, so my weight slowly crept back up to about 290 pounds at this point. My time at UTC was pretty uneventful. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to be there for long, and it was a step up in difficulty, so I didn't really get involved in anything around campus. Anyway, in summer 2015, I finished up those last classes I needed, applied to Georgia Tech, and I got accepted in November. I started classes at Georgia Tech in the spring of 2016. Since it was my dream school and I was living on campus, and because I knew that I was going to be there for at least 3 more years, I got really involved in a lot of different things on campus. I got my first internship in summer 2017 up in Illinois, and the next summer I interned at a defense contractor in Tennessee. Between those internships, my senior design project, and my kinda decent GPA, I had a pretty solid resume going into my final semester in fall 2018. But I had waited way too long to start applying for full-time jobs. So backing up a bit, right before my second internship started in May of 2018, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, which was really hard for me to deal with at first because I lost my dad to cancer back in 2006. Thankfully, she had an absolutely incredible group of supporters there for her while I was away at my internship, and she won her battle with her disease. Anyway, I've been losing weight fairly consistently over the past 2 years, and on Halloween weekend of my final semester in December 2018, I got down to my lowest ever weight of 189, and that's where things got weird. See, like I said, I waited way too long to start applying to full-time jobs, so I was really stressing out and applying everywhere I could for full-time jobs in Atlanta, while also trying to manage my classes and work. I wound up surviving Georgia Tech and I graduated with honors, and a few weeks later I was given a job offer from my favorite of the places I'd interviewed at. Right after the holidays, I moved back to my beloved Atlanta, started my new job as a full-stack software engineer, and got an apartment for me and my cat Oreo. Unfortunately, because I still have a bad habit of stress eating, I gained about 40 pounds over the next several months and peaked back up at around 230 over Labor Day weekend. I made a video detailing my plan to lose 50 pounds over the next 6 months, and I'm already making great progress on my way back down. On a serious note, for the first 8 months or so after I moved back to Atlanta, I felt like I was kind of lost in life and I felt like I was stuck in a rut. I realized I was feeling that way because over the past 6 or more years, I'd always looked forward to graduation as being this big turning point in my life that after I got past it, I would have everything figured out and I would be the person I'd always wanted to be. But that's not how things turned out. I mean, don't get me wrong, life is great right now and I'm really happy about how things are turning out, but I'm nowhere close to my potential yet. And I realized that to reach that potential, I need to take control of myself and shape my life into what I want it to be, instead of waiting on some external event like graduation to do that for me. That concept of mindfully taking control is one of the reasons why I started studying psychology and neuroscience in the first place. And I started this channel to share the things that I've learned and help people like you improve your life and achieve your goals. On that note, I upload new videos every Saturday morning, so please subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I'll see you in the next one.